Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my Clipper faithful. Thank you so much for joining me today, Thursday, with the team of Layer 3. We have Daria, the CEO and founder. We have Sarah, aka Meowlark, who is the head of and product lead marketing. So it's wonderful to have you guys. We're going to talk a lot about Layer 3 and what's going on with its integration with Clipper. We're going to talk about the origins of Layer 3, how it can bring new users to Clipper, what it does for a user journey, and just do a little bit of small talk. And we have exciting news that we're launching a new quest on Monday. And simultaneously, we're going to be starting signups for Adventure 3. So we're going to be answering questions about all of those things. Let's just give a few moments. Wow, we have so many people already in. 132 people have jumped in. So we don't need to wait to let people trickle in because we got people here. So let me go ahead and ask Daria and Sarah to take themselves off mute and introduce themselves to the audience, and we'll get right into it. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. It's awesome to be here. Really excited for this. Sarah and I specifically have been fans of what Clipper's been doing for a while now, and we've run a few quests already. So some of you folks in the audience might have seen us do some stuff for Clipper through Layer 3, and I'm really excited to jam on what we got in the pipeline.
Yeah, I have to say, so I heard about Layer 3 because just out of happenstance, a lot of our users kept saying, look, you guys need to do something with Layer 3. You guys need to do something with Layer 3. So it happened quite organically. And then someone notified us that there was actually a Layer 3 bounty quest already. I'm going to show that up on my screen. So we're in Discord right now on a voice chat, but I'm also recording this for people who can't make it to see it later. So the YouTube audience gets to see some visuals, and I'm bringing up the old bounty. 1,750 people completed this bounty to make a swap on Clipper and provide liquidity to the optimism pool. So we were pretty excited to see how much traffic you guys drove to us, and we came and talked, and now we got some cool things coming up in the pipeline. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's to come?
Sure.
Yes.
Sorry,
Hey,
Dariya.
Sarah, you can take this.
Cool. Hi everyone. My name is Sarah. I lead marketing and community at Layer 3. We're also really just excited to work with Clipper because we've gotten a lot of feedback from our community as well, who have wanted to see Clipper bounties and quests for a long time. So we ran one as like an experimental quest a couple weeks ago, and I think people in our community loved it. So we're definitely excited to get like an official one going. And what's going to happen for the next quest is that we will be having a variety of steps in the quest. The first one will be joining Discord. So if you're already here, then great, you can verify that step. And then we'll have a variety of swaps as well as a Twitter step, so you can get the full Clipper experience. And we're really excited to see who will be using Clipper through that quest and just get the hype going around for Clipper.
All right, great. So I actually have a few questions coming out of that. Kind of more generally, just at the 40,000 foot view, you say that your community had been interested in Clipper. Can you talk about like who is your community? Where do you find them? Like how do you source opinions from them to go find out where to go next? What's your community like, and who are they?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that I think one thing that sort of unites the Layer 3 community is this element of like curiosity. I think everyone's just really excited and curious to try new things, and that's something we've really been leaning into with bounties and now quests. Every quest experience we try to create for our users is basically something that would enable them to have not only like, take this action on this protocol, but rather, hey, you should have like an experience. You should, be in the community. You should join the Discord. You should like interact with other folks who are passionate about this product on Twitter. You should like basically go through the full user experience as opposed to just like taking a very like mercenary action. So I think that's what we've tried to promote, and it's just really worked within Layer 3 because people really like to just explore and discover these things that Web3 has to offer. So we've ran so many quests with partners in the past, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from our users where they're like, oh, I would have never known this product or protocol in the beginning had it not been for a layer 3 quest. So I think there's this element of curiosity that's very strong there, and we like to encourage that. So I think that it's always nice to, you know, chat with people outside of it, because people are like, oh, why is layer 3 popping, or why do people join the layer 3 community? And I think that's definitely a motivating factor.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So you say like you can drive new traffic because people will say they wouldn't have known about this project if it weren't for the layer 3 quest. So it actually makes me think. So I'm excited to be here because we want to teach our users about layer 3, and also because we're doing an integration with you guys and launching a quest coming up Monday. But it sounds like we should do a home and home. I'd love to come to your Discord and do a similar talk about the layer 3 quest, and so people can discover more about Clipper. But maybe they just find out about it. So like, how do people find out about the layer 3 quests and bounties? And also tell me the difference between quests and bounties, please.
Yeah, for sure. So quests are kind of these like bigger experiences, and bounties are just steps in a quest. It can be kind of confusing because previously we used bounties differently, but generally speaking, bounties are instantly verifiable on-chain and off-chain actions you can take on layer 3. So whenever you complete a layer 3 quest and you see a bounty within that quest, once you go and complete it, we will instantly verify on the blockchain or off-chain whether you completed that task. So if you were to make a swap on Clipper through layer 3 through a bounty, then we would be able to determine whether you have completed that swap or not. And I think this creates a really fun experience for users, because another core part of like why we have bounties and quests is because I think Web3 right now is still like very much a wild west for like good user experiences and products, and we want to promote this like nice onboarding user experience journey as much as possible, as opposed to something that's, you know, very difficult to use, something that has a lot of high friction, something where like users have to sift through all this like Twitter alpha, Telegram alpha, Discord, just to find a product they like. So we're just trying to simplify and make that easier for users, and I think that's our main goal. But I'll also let Dariya talk a little bit about sort of our product vision and what we see, you know, in the long term when it comes to like creating these quests, and basically trying to make layer 3 a place that's the best place to discover Web3.
Yeah, I love hearing about your vision, and I actually do want to ask Daria some pointed questions about the vision. Before I hop to that, though, I invite our users, if you want to ask questions of the Layer 3 team, head over to hashtag AMA channel and at me, and I'll make sure to ask all the questions. We already have 2 in the queue. I'll make sure to get to them. And Daria, so let me cue you up talking about vision. So I love hearing about purpose and vision and when Sarah talks about Web3 being sort of the Wild West, kind of a new frontier, we feel that same way in Clipper. And we espouse our values. We're putting a lot of time and effort into really crafting these values. And we've narrowed them down to knowledge, camaraderie, and playfulness. And together that means that Clipper is a place where people come to really build a real community where they can learn about Web3, where they can feel that it is a safe place to gather accurate knowledge and move forward in a confident manner to do what's best for them in this new space. So it seems like Layer 3's ethos kind of reflects that. If you want the best customer experience, we want that as well. But Daria, go ahead and talk a little bit about your vision. And you know what? I'll combine it with an AMA question that's specifically for you. So Daria, this is from AKIG, who's one of our adventure captains from Adventure 2. And he says, where do you see Layer 3 3 years from now? And what are the ultimate goals of your platform? Daria, take it away.
Yeah, totally. So our high-level goal here is to accelerate Web3 adoption by giving communities the tools to tell better stories and create better user journeys. And that's exactly what we're helping Clipper do. So when you think about Web 2 and a lot of these concepts that we're kind of reusing, such as quests, like that's not a very new concept, but it seems to have taken hold as the primary way of kind of creating user milestones in Web 3. I think that has to do with a lot of the fact that there is a lot of education required to actually become a power user in the space. And so where I see, our product heading is just creating better ways of generating user milestones such that, someone like Clipper, who obviously has this incredibly laudable ethos, can actually take the reins on storytelling and give their community something to do every day, week, month in an incredibly kind of gamified and retentive way. And for the user, what that means is you get to feel like you're a part of something on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and you get to participate with a lot of the other folks who you've come to know and love in the community through just quests, bounties, or even, I suppose, Clipper adventures. And then, Ben, could you remind me what the question from the community was?
Yeah, sure. Let me. And you're sparking so many. We're just going to go all over the place because you spark questions for me too. But this particular question from A-King asks a question for the Layer 3 CEO. Where do you see Layer 3 3 years from now? And what are the ultimate goals of the platform?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a great question. And I think our North Star here is, again, what I mentioned around giving communities the tools to tell better stories. And so right now, what you see is, primarily on the Layer 3 platform, come to Layer 3, use that as kind of like a singular point of entry to explore Web3 every single day. But in 3 years, I see actually, a lot of Layer 3s, and each community kind of having their own immersive Layer 3 where they've created their own type of game with their own, kind of flavor. What we've done right now is aggregate all of the kind of things to do in Web3, and that'll always exist. But I do see it in a few years, a very real kind of vision of us being able to immerse all of the users who show up to Clipper, have no idea what it is, and really, really, get engulfed in kind of like the Clipper game, and really own the Clipper ethos through these milestones that someone like Ben here would create for you all on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis.
So it's like you provide the tools, the platform for us Web3 builders to give a coherent journey to let our users come through and see the journey and learn about our vision, purpose, mission, goals, all that type of stuff in a somewhat gamified and gamified way.
Exactly. And I think the core of all of that is that the Clipper community and the folks who are working on Clipper on a daily basis know the most about it, right? So you'll be able to tell the best stories, significantly better stories than we if it lived on just our platform. So I think that that's how we truly create the most immersive experience for any new user to Clipper and keep people coming back.
So let's talk about this daily, weekly, and monthly journey for our users and then tie that specifically to Clipper. So we have a quest. And I want to point out, we're also, when I let Dariya and Sarah off the stage, we're going to talk about Adventure 3, which is distinct from the Layer 3 quest. But so I just want to point that out. But so that one, they both just happened to launch Monday. So when someone comes and does this quest come Monday, what's the repeatable nature of it?
Yeah, so this quest actually, this is a one-off quest that we're launching with Clipper. So what I meant by like the repeatable nature is right now, if you go to layer3.xyz, for example, we post something new every single day and give everyone in Web3 a new way to explore. And making that a reality for each of these communities is kind of where I see this going. Now, as for the way I see us continuing to work together is the same way you guys post Adventure 1, 2, 3. This isn't the last quest we'll be launching. And so maybe it's a bi-weekly thing, maybe it's a monthly thing or a quarterly thing. But this quest is designed to take you a decent amount of time. And I don't know the exact timeline on it. Maybe Sarah can speak to that in just a second. But I believe it should take you around 2 to 3 weeks to complete. And then by the time that quest is over and you've gone through that kind of user journey, then it's probably time for another one with some new steps and a new angle and storytelling practice to it. Does that answer the question, Ben?
Yeah. And I teed you up a little bit mysteriously, but you got there. I wanted you to say that we're going to be having more quests. Like they build. It's not just this one off. We're going to continue. It's a continuing relationship. But Sarah, maybe you could talk I know you said it a little bit earlier in the call, but maybe you could go through quickly what the steps are, and how long the process might take. And the official launch, I believe, is Monday. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. I'm just pulling up the quest now. But yeah, the quest basically takes you through Clipper's swapping mechanisms. And the first step of the quest would be for you to take a quiz about Clipper. I think this is, a very important aspect of Clipper we've tried to incorporate in the quest itself, which is just educating yourself on Clipper, what Clipper's values are, and why it's beneficial for traders like you. And then after that quiz, you start to, you join the Discord and then you say hi in the community and like basically become part of the Clipper community, which we also feel is a very important part of the quest. After these two off-chain steps, so none of this is on-chain, we have the on-chain swapping action. So you would have to whitelist your wallet to begin swapping through Clipper, and then you would connect your Discord, which is already connected to Clipper, on the whitelist. After that, I think there's a required waiting time of just, I think, a couple of days where you would have to make, after that waiting time, you would have to make a swap. So the first swap is on Polygon, and then the next swap would be on Optimism, and both of those would be a minimum of $20 each. And then after that, there is another swap either on Optimism or Polygon. And the idea of all these swaps would be to just experience sort of the efficiency of Clipper and the efficiency of swapping on L2s. And then after those swaps, you would tweet about your Clipper journey, and then make it known that you've been experimenting with Clipper, and you would get a very cool achievement at the end in layer 3. Which may be used to gate future bounties or quests. So it's this kind of like retentive user journey where you're experiencing like all that Clipper has to offer in the form of swaps, and then also like doing these supplemental actions, including joining the Discord as well as tweeting about it, that would basically like make you a member of the Clipper community.
That's great. And since we're in the Clipper Discord, as you said, a lot of these people already are members. But I love the previous quest gates for later quests. Like, you need to level up before you do these more advanced quests. And like you said, our first quest is going to be just swaps in the main pools, but we also want to educate our users about coves, where they're not just using the main pool with the core assets, but they can trade any kind of long tail asset. But that's a little bit more of a complicated action, so you might want to level up before you get there. So I appreciate that explanation. Let me head to AMA and see if we got some more questions for you all. And it looks like we do. So this is a question for Dariya. And Captain Tokyo, who is one of our community leaders. So he does a lot of work filling out, helping people answer questions. So thank you, Captain Tokyo. And he asks, Layer 3 is in the beta phase. When will the beta phase be finished? And Layer 3 main phase, what's the big difference between that and the beta?
Yeah, honestly, that's a great question, and I think that we are still in beta because we're figuring out some performance issues. That's basically it. I don't think you'll see any user-facing changes before we kind of remove that beta.layer3.xyz. It'll just feel a lot faster and smoother, and that's kind of the final frontier before we kind of exit the beta phase. And so if you look back on like Wayback Machine or any of these kind of like Internet Archive services, you'll see how far we've come, and we've been in the beta phase since I believe February, so just around 8 months. And so we're at the very, very tail end of that, and that's a very, very interesting thing to reflect upon, because it's not something that you kind of think about every day, the fact that we're still technically in beta.
Yeah, that's funny. We got a lot of questions, so if you guys don't mind sticking around, let me keep throwing them at you. You good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so CryptoCool asks, are there any Clipper tasks on Layer 3? Well, CryptoCool, there was an old bounty, and on Monday we'll be launching a new quest. And then in the future, probably every 2, 3, 4 weeks, there'll be even a new one, so you'll get a lot. DeFi Jen, who's one of the power users of Clipper, he's actually the big boss from Polygon Week. He says he loves layer 3. He's level 22 already. And he asks, are your quest indexers on you or are they on third parties? Why is the confirmation time of quests on Optimism and Arbitrum differ so much? Milliseconds versus seconds. So we got a very technical question. Can you guys
That's a
take that
great,
one?
yeah, it's a fantastic question. We use third-party indexers, but rest assured we're building our own right now, so that will no longer be a problem very, very soon.
Okay, cool. I'm sure DeFi Jen's super happy to hear that. Okay, Verdi asks, are we completing quests on layer 3? What will we get? Any reward? Any hint? And is ZK Sync going to launch on mainnet? Any plan to add quests of ZK Sync? So I guess they're kind of asking what the reward structure is for layer 3, which we didn't talk about explicitly. So because we Clipper also have a reward structure, but you guys, you're a partnering program, so you have your own ways of doing things.
Right. So, I kind of see where this question is alluding to. No hint. But right now, on layer 3, you can complete these quests to level up, to earn NFTs that we design in-house, or achievements that will be used to gate future quests. But as of now, that is all.
Great. So Ben Nico Q, who is one of our community leaders and very active and helpful participant, asks, Layer 3 attracted many users recently, and here's the $1,000,000 question. What's Layer 3's plan to retain active community users?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think really it falls on some of the content we produce in-house in the form of quests, right? And so just making sure that there's always something new for community members to do that people actually love and people derive value from is top of mind for us. And so, we're always open to suggestions if you like certain quests or don't like certain quests. We have our ear to the community very, very, very tightly. And so our goal here is just to create the most fun experience possible and the most engaging discovery experience where you can regularly use. And so it all comes down to content at that point.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe Sarah can speak a bit to that as
Yeah,
well.
but if you provide a good active product, like people will use it and stay as the hope, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I'm curious what Sarah thinks also.
Yeah, I can shed a bit of light on that as well. We definitely have a lot of jam-packed features in our product roadmap. We're kind of we've been looking at that this week because we've been on a team offsite where we've just been chatting all the ways to make layer 3 a better experience. And I think that, we've recently launched quizzes as a new feature just within quests. And I think our users love that because it's not only a way to learn about protocols, but it's a way to do an action that maybe doesn't take as much commitment as an off-chain action, as an on-chain action, while still getting this full user experience. We have a lot of plans that we can't reveal at the moment, but there will be plans to make this user experience more retentive. You might be able to do stuff with your friends, or you might be able to get new types of rewards, like a Discord role, for example. So we're definitely thinking about this user journey as we're moving forward with our product. And we are always, like Dariya said, we're always taking feedback from the community. We're always trying to ask for ways that we can do better. So if you guys ever have anything you want to suggest, feel free to do it in the Layer 3 Discord server and just under feedback. We're looking at that all the time.
That's great. And the link there is discord.gg/layer3. It's in the AMA channel. I'll drop it in the main channel. Speaking of plans for the future that you may not be able to reveal, let me ask you two quick hitters. Do you have any plans to open an office in Asia? And as always, will there be any token of Layer 3? Ask GetDev8 and Sugar Brother.
Yeah, so no plans to open an office in Asia, and we don't answer questions about tokens
There you
right
go.
now.
I could have told you. Gotta keep it legal. Speaking of, so I'm just curious, where are you all based? Where are you hailing from right now?
We are in Spain right
Yeah.
now for a team offsite. So some of the team is based in Europe, some of the team is based in the US, and so we work across time zones. And we like to get together once every quarter, just for a week to have a nice balls to the wall sprint
Yeah,
on
that's
product
great.
strategy together.
And no shame in Spain, that's for sure.
No shame in Spain. It's very
Okay,
beautiful.
I want to respect people's time, and I also want to talk a little bit about adventure. So let's see. Old boy asks, users got NFTs by doing bounties on layer three. Will there be utility for them in the future?
What I can say about that is that, this is like an on-chain record of your achievements. So, no ruling utility out. And a lot of the NFTs that we have released are commemorative, but a lot of them have also been used to gate certain quests. So definitely like look out for our plans for that in the future. But yeah, I wouldn't, rule that out.
Yeah, we feel NFTs, they're the best on chain like concrete record of a person's loyal activity to the brand. So we do appreciate that. Let me just take. We got a lot of questions. Well, let me take two more, then I'll give you guys a chance to give parting words. Say thank you, then we're going to dive into Adventure 3. We have 427 people listening, so it's really pleased you guys show up on a Thursday. And Prajnal says, it's not a question, just a genuine review. He's been using many other quest sites like Rabbit Hole, Crew 3, Quest 3, but Layer 3 is so far the most smooth experience. And he's wondering, does GM Streak have an importance for future recognition? And speaking of GM Streak, Sniff A has a 97 GM Streak. Can you tell the users what the GM Streak is and what its importance is?
Yeah, that's actually incredible. Congrats on the 97,
There you
and
go,
in
Sniff.
three
From the
days,
CEO. From the CEO.
yeah,
Congrats.
in 3 days, yeah, congrats on the 100. That's a very big milestone, and I think something we've been thinking about a lot is how we can turn GM Streak into more of a celebration when you hit those milestones, and so you'll see some custom achievements that'll give you access to some really amazing gated quests and bounties like that. So. We're redoing our achievement system very soon, and you'll see a lot more or a lot cooler visuals associated with that. And the GM streak is just a really fun kind of feature we shipped in one day at the first offsite, and it turned into something very cool. I think we've had millions of GMs at this point, which is pretty ridiculous.
It's a lot of good mornings. That's wonderful. So we're approaching 9:30. I know you guys are busy and you're offsite, so I do want to say thank you, give you a chance to give some final words. And just for everyone who knows, the Layer 3 quest is launching on Monday. You can find it. I guess we should tell them where they can find it. Would it be what's the best place for them to find it? And then go ahead and give your final words and you step off the stage.
Yeah, so we'll post this on Twitter, and I'm sure we'll probably, get a tweet from Clipper as well. So just keep an eye on Layer 3 XYZ on Twitter, and of course, Clipper Dex. That's probably the best way to find both of these, and you'll see the link on Monday. Just want to say thank you to everyone for, listening to us speak. Ben, thank you for hosting this for us and asking such great questions. If you haven't checked out Layer 3, feel free to play around on it. Layer 3 at XYZ. Drop any feedback in our Discord or DM us on Twitter. Whatever it might be, we always try to listen to our community, and we love that we have so many users who really like our product. Thanks for all the kind words from the AMA, and I'll pass it over to Sarah now.
Yeah, aside from Twitter, you'll also be able to find the link on Monday in our Discord. We will have an official announcement. As a reminder, just remember not to trust any information coming from, that's not Clipper, Layer 3, or our Twitters. That's really important because we do get people who spam us a lot. But you will also be able to find it on Monday at the short link, l3.xyz/Clipper. So just watch out for that. But once again, thank you everyone for coming and joining us. I know we have like a couple of really active power users who are in Clipper as well as Layer 3. Shout out to Tokyo. Shout out to some of the other power users that I interact with every day. You guys are great. So thanks for joining.
So Tokyo's with y'all too? Tokyo's a big deal on our Discord. So that's exciting that he's branching. He's everywhere. Okay. L3.xyz/Clipper coming Monday. Thank you to Dariya and Sarah of Layer 3. You should go to their Discord, discord.gg/Layer3. But they are members of our Discord now. So if you have questions, you can @Dariya or @Meowlark in here. And look out for that quest from Layer 3 coming Monday. I'm going to take them off the stage. And at this point, we are going to... Oh, they're gone. So now we're going to stop talking about the Layer 3 quest, which happens on Monday, and we're going to take the opportunity to start talking about Adventure 3. The long-awaited Adventure 3 is starting, or pardon me, the signups are starting on Tuesday, November 1st. Right now, the end of this week, we're kind of finalizing up who our captains are and what ships they're going to be aboard. And then come Tuesday, November 1st is going to be your first opportunity to sign up for the adventure. So Adventure 3, we're calling it Constructing Clippertopia. And the kind of theme of Adventure 3 is that we're building together the Clipperverse. So there's going to be a lot of user-generated content. We're releasing a lot of features on the Clipper website. For example, a character profile and inventory screen where people have a chance to display the NFTs and kind of the awards that they've received by doing Clipper activities. You're going to have an individual user score, which will contribute to your ship score. So your ship score is going to be the sum of all your user scores plus some other things. But your user score will persist beyond the adventure, so that there will be a very active kind of record of like what your score, what that number is. Get that number higher for your use in Clipper, and you have a real chance. The community is going to have a real chance to create and build things that will actually be used in the Clipper infrastructure. So it's a really exciting opportunity. Our last adventure was in May of this year, and we had about 21,000 people sign up. We did kick people off during it if they, weren't, we want the best and the brightest to make it through. So if people didn't pass quizzes, they got kicked off. But eventually 13,000 people of that 21,000 were able to complete the adventure. They received a unique, they received a Adventure 2 NFT, certain rewards, showed the rank of their ship. We're going to have a lot more rewards for Adventure number 3. So make sure that you sign up. So we had 21,000 people sign up. We expect a lot more numbers, but we're actually going to cap the participants to keep it manageable. So you need to make sure that you sign up, because it's only going to be the first 35,000 people that sign up that are going to be able to get in. And to facilitate, if you want to guarantee yourself a spot, not only in the adventure, but on the ship that you choose. So first of all, signing up for the adventure is free. You don't have to pay money to be part of the adventure. But because it is capped, and if you want to guarantee yourself a spot in the adventure, and specifically if you want to guarantee yourself a spot on a ship, for instance, my guess is that Bloodsail Bandit is going to have a lot of people are going to want to be on Bloodsail Bandit. They were the winners last time. They're very active. Captain T, who I'm sure in the audience, riled people up to a fever pitch, and people are going to want to be on there. But ships have to be balanced out, and we can't have one ship with 15,000 users and 5 ships with 2,000 each. So there's going to be, if a ship gets too full, you can't be on it. And one way that you can guarantee yourself onto a ship is we're having early access tickets. So while the capped number of people in the adventure is 35,000, we're going to be selling 5,000 early access tickets, just $10 each. And what that does is it allows you to sign up early, a week before anyone else, and it guarantees you a spot on the ship of your choosing. So if, all 5,000 people buy these early access tickets and then they sign up for Bloodsail Bandit, there's only going to be a few spots left on Bloodsail Bandit when regular signups open. So not only does it get you in early, not only does it guarantee you the ship of your choosing, but you also get a sweet NFT that's going to be in your profile, and you're going to be marked as someone who's so into Clipper that you needed to get in there early. And that's going to bode well for you in the future. Let's put it like that. So we got early access tickets signing available November 1st. Signups, early access will be November 1st through that Sunday. Then regular signups will be the following week. Everyone will be assigned their ships, and November 14th will be our first quest. The quest will run November 14th through December 16th. We have 3 quests which last over a month each, 3 quests which all told last about a month, and there are dozens of awards to earn through that. And you get a chance to help make Clipper great. Another big part, because we're building Clipper, is we're going to really grapple with the Clipper community values. So we're going to launch our Clipper community values page: knowledge, camaraderie, and playfulness. You guys are going to help us determine what that means and grapple with what it means and educate others about what it means, because we want our community to really espouse values and be knit and cohesive and want to be together and have fun together. And that's what Adventure 3 is all about. So I've been talking a lot. Let's see if there's any questions in AMA. Captain T actually asks, a careful review of past adventures shows that an adventurer can skip other important tasks once they pass the quiz, and then they can earn the same reward as those that actively participated. Will there be a significant change? So what he's referring to in Adventure 2, like you could sign up, and I believe in quest number 2, the second week, there was a quiz. So about at the end of that, about halfway through, if you completed that quiz, you could stick around. And if you didn't complete that quiz, you got kicked off. And then afterwards, if you didn't do anything, you still got the full benefits of your ship. This time around, it's not just a ship score, it's a user score. So I haven't decided if we're going to do that. This probably we won't, but we could say I'm not saying we'll kick off people with lower user scores, but certainly if you have a high enough user score, you will be rewarded in a different way than other people. So you of course want your ship to win, but because the ship score depends on your score, you can really distinguish yourself by doing a lot. And of course, if you pop open your profile and inventory screen and some dude's got 30 NFT rewards in there and one dude's got 2, I mean, it's very clear who is the active user and who isn't. It's clear to everyone. Okay, I see a lot. Okay, NL40VVG says, I don't fully understand. What do I have to do to get early access to Quest 3? Okay, so I want to be clear a little bit on the terminology. Layer 3 is a platform that we are partnering with, and they are launching their own quest. That comes out Monday. That'll be on the Layer 3 website. And you can go to, they haven't announced what their rewards are. That's apparently a secret. But you go to their website to do actions on Clipper, and they'll track you. They're partnered with us. That stuff happens to be called a quest. Also, signups for something called Adventure 3 is starting on Tuesday. Adventure 3 is done by us, by the Clipper community, with the help of community leaders and captains. People will be separated into 6 ships. If you remember from Adventure 2, we had the Amaranth Argo, Bloodsail Bandit, Flying Dutchman, Fleet Elite, Golden Galleon, and Sapphire Sphinx with their special spirit captains. And you'll sign up to be on one of those ships. Those 6 ships will compete against each other in 3 quests over the course of a month. And may the best ship win, and may the best user with the highest score win. And there's going to be, there's like in Adventure 2, we had a whole Discord kind of text-based adventure. And we also had a riddle to solve. And we got a lot of kind of things for you to do, fun things for you to do to compete with other teams and build up the Clipperverse. It's called the Constructing Clippertopia. So we're going to be building our community together. Okay, Mark, thank you very much. Mark says all proceeds from early access go to Admiral Dow. This is another wonderful opportunity for us to talk about Admiral Dow. So the plan is this is a decentralized exchange. And as we become more mature, we will be moving towards we're going to be moved towards community governance. And the entity that controls the funds that Clipper, gains from swaps and the yield and all that stuff is a multi-sig wallet in a DAO called Admiral DAO. Admiral DAO runs things. So all the proceeds from these 5,000 tickets that cost $10 each, that's all going to go to Admiral DAO. And Admiral DAO, if you're a user of Clipper, you're part of Admiral DAO. So basically, you're funding Clipper to be better if you buy an early access ticket. Okay, we're getting near 45 minutes. It's a little bit too much time, and we're going to post this to YouTube, and I want to make sure that people watch to the end. So I'm going to say thank you to the 455 people that showed up. We're going to post this to YouTube later. Make sure that you are here next week. Big things are happening. Monday on Layer 3, we'll have our quest. And Tuesday, we will have early access tickets for Adventure 3. And the quest for that will begin on November 14th. So really exciting stuff to come. Be a part of it all. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much for your time, and talk later. Bye-bye.